Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys.
Hey everyone, welcome to Kempner Canucks. This is a special one because of my special guest. This is Donnie Diamonds, aka Ben, who just happens to be my brother. Welcome, Ben, to the channel.
Welcome, thank you.
So we wanted to come on today. He's in town for Christmas, and I just wanted to jump on with him, and we're going to talk tonight about the World Juniors. We're going to talk about the Canucks Flyers. As you can see, he's got a Flyers jersey on, right? He's got an Eric Lindros jersey on. He's actually a Canucks fan, and he likes the Oilers as well. But he likes lots of players, lots of different things. And so anyways, we both do. We'll talk about that in a minute, but we're so glad that you're here and taking the time tonight out of your Christmas schedule to come join us. If you like Canucks content that is passionate, realistic, and honest, you got to hit that like and subscribe because that's what I do. Okay. So anyways, so we do want to talk about tonight. So we want to talk about the World Juniors. We want to talk about what you want to talk about as well. So I noticed there's already Ryan is already in the house. Welcome, Ryan. Go Canada. Absolutely. We're totally cheering Canada on. So let's get into a couple things first. The first question, this is the question I want you to post in the comments, is who do you think will win the HF World Juniors tournament? This is a special tournament that happens every single year, and we're totally pumped about it. But so Ben, who do you think is going to win the World Juniors this year?
Yeah, well, I've heard you over talk about it. So you're talking about you thought the Americans had a better team. I don't know much about the World Juniors this year compared to last year, following draft picks. But being a Canadian boy, I would always have to go with Canada. But I've only watched any of the teams played, meaning the only teams watching is Canada, who they played versus Finland and Latvia. But yeah, you'll have no more knowledge on this than me. Like,
yeah.
Who you?
Well, everyone keeps saying the United States is going to win, and they're stacked again. Like last year, how many draft picks got drafted? That was insane, right? Like it was insane how many first rounders were from that U.S. team.
Yeah. And
then they're stacked again this year. So the odds on favorite are the United States, but that doesn't mean jack squat.
Yeah. So the controversy on Spit and Chicklets is they're saying,
"Ooh, dropping names."
Canada, yeah, Canada, just Team Canada and Olympics versus USA. There's one Canadian boy and two Boston boys, and there's two NHLers, and so they're saying they think that the American team's going to be better this year for the Olympics. Now, when you look at, let's say, the Bedard draft. The top heavy Bedard, obviously, but then the top 10, the Americans controlled the top 10, I'd say, in the draft. And then this year you look at it and it looks like the Americans control the top 10, but that doesn't mean really who's going to, the dynamics of who's your, go-to players and who's your grunt players and team players. I don't even know what's the goalie situation.
You mean for the Americans?
Well, I don't even know. Like when I was watching World Juniors, I remember when Carter Hart was playing and all that. But
yeah,
this year I don't even know.
Well, our goalie looks incredible right now, but I mean, maybe it's because we haven't played anyone good. Finland's supposed to be always good, so I don't know. I think for me, the World Juniors is such a special tournament, and this is a tournament where their draft capital goes up and down, right? So a lot of guys are already known and all those kind of things. But I do think that Celebrini, by the way, first he's supposed to go first overall. He's on our team.
Yeah.
So I think we got a shot. And you know me, I'm always cheering for Matt Wood. He's from Nanaimo. We know him personally, and he had a goal and 2 assists tonight. So I don't know. What do you guys think would be great? Okay, so Ryan says Sweden. I think they have they have the most team depth. Yeah, and we're about to find out Friday morning, right? Friday morning, I think it's 10:30 Pacific time that we're going to be playing Sweden. So we'll just see how we measure up, and we'll talk about Team Sweden in a minute. But thank you, Ryan, for that as well. I do think that Sweden looks really good, as well as the U.S. Obviously, Canada does as well. I mean, the Czechs, I think they won 8-something today as well against Norway. Well, they're not very good, but we can just go from there. So yeah, anyways, that's some of the thoughts on Canada. Let's talk about that, though, real quick. So Canada is 2-0 already, which was expected. It'd be shocking if they were 1-1 or 0-2, but they won 5-2, a convincing win over Finland. Didn't even look like Finland looked like the weaker team, right? Like it wasn't even close. Kind of like the Canucks are making a lot of teams look like this year. By the way, we're going to get into the Flyers Canucks conversation real quick here, and just so happens he brought his Flyers jersey, so it actually works out perfectly for this stream tonight. But what do you guys think about like these wins? Anyone that super impressed you? I think Celebrini for me. Who's the defenseman? 13, Labion, whatever his name is. I love that kid. I don't know, can't remember. Just off the top of my head, I can't remember. Our goaltending looks good, but then again, beating Latvia today 10-0, like that doesn't surprise anyone.
The thing with Finland is, statistically speaking, the old wives' tale about Finland is they're either going to win the gold medal or they're not. They're going to tank, and it's year after year. It like flip flops how good they're getting, and where they're really good one year, and then the next year they have a disappointing season, and then the next year, it's like a Jesse Puljujarvi year where they win again, and
yeah.
So who knows how good they were this year? It's kind of a tough gauging stick, I'd say.
Absolutely. And let us know in the comments if you can hear us well or not. But yeah, I just love watching the tournament. I know, most years I don't get to be able to watch all the games. I've watched quite a few already this year. I mean, I think it's because we've been just chilling and eating food. I've got so much sugar in me. I think I'm like, it's oozing out of my body, right? Like I must be on a sugar comatose. But anyways, we've had an awesome Christmas together and having lots of fun. Watched 2 movies last night. We watched the newest James Bond, which I haven't seen yet, which you've already seen. And well, you've watched every movie known to man, so it doesn't really matter. And then we also watched back-to-back was the new Mission Impossible, which also I haven't seen, which he has already seen. Both fantastic movies. If you haven't seen them, check them out for sure. But we've been having lots of fun, and now that sports is back on, we're pretty pumped. Tomorrow night, like he's hitting a flight tomorrow, so we can't watch the Flyers game together, but I'll be watching, and I'm going to be live streaming, so make sure you show up tomorrow night right after the game. I'm going to live stream. So let's talk about one thing. Oh, someone is on here. This is this is my wife, by the way. Ginny, can you hear me through the floor, or can you hear me like just through this sounding really good? That's what I want to know. Gary, welcome to the stream. This is my brother, Ben. This is Donnie Diamonds, the one and the only. Okay, Gary? So it's good to have you guys here. If you missed the beginning, this is my brother, Ben. And so, hi. Anyways. Okay, so where are we going here again, Ben? Where are we going next? Okay, we wanted to talk about this win, these 2 wins. Nothing really surprised us. I mean, 5-2 convincing was impressive for me. 10-0, meh. But the showdown against Sweden on Friday morning will be a test, right?
Yeah. I would go on where when I first came here, he showed me where Matthew Wood's house was, who's from Nanaimo. So we watched the first game I don't think he had any points the first Finland
No, I don't
game.
think so.
The Latvia game where you're supposed to, obviously it's going to be a blowout, but the actual point production for Matthew Wood, the type of the assist and the slap shot tip in was quite nice. Like that assist, they say was basically a wrist shot from across the ice. We were all rooting for Wood, and he came through impressively last game. So
yeah, and the funny thing is too, I was kind of trying to find ice time with him, but he's been sick. He's literally sick playing and still producing at a high level. So it's been fun to watch him for sure. So absolutely. Okay, now let's quickly just talk about the Canucks prospects. So here, do you know this stat? So World Juniors, the Coyotes have 7 prospects at the World Juniors, which I guess shouldn't be that shocking to us because they suck and they have lots of prospects, right? But I mean, they played better than I thought they would. But then Canada has 3 prospects. A lot of teams have 2 or 3, but
Canucks have 3.
Sorry, Canucks have 3. None of them are on Team Canada. I should clarify that. And then, and of course, they're here. They're all on Team Sweden. Lettermäki, Elias Pettersson, which was the second, because it's not the star, it's the defenseman, and Tom Wielander, he is there. So that's another reason why I can't wait to watch the Sweden game. But the Edmonton Oilers have 0 prospects playing at this tournament. Did you know that?
No.
That's crazy. Don't you think that's nuts?
Yeah, they're trying to go for the Stanley Cup, so they're probably giving away all their draft picks.
What, like in 2026?
Well, they're probably making a draft or making trades for guys, you would think.
Yeah.
Right, where they took Duncan Keith, Vander Kane. I don't know.
Oh, you're saying from the past, they're trying to win a cup now? Okay.
So then that's probably why they don't have the draft picks, where you can see the Phoenix Coyotes.
And wouldn't it be sucky to be an Oilers fan right now? Like, it's such a disappointing year, right? They're like dog breath now.
No, what are they in the last 10? 7-3.
Yeah, no, they went on an 8-game winning streak, and then they lost 3 in a row, and then now they're flip-flopping again. So they're so far out of it, it's ridiculous. But we can talk about that later. But no prospects, so I understand they were trying to trade to go all in. Okay, but I'm excited to watch these guys. These guys beat Latvia 6-0, and Lettermäki had 2 goals. I think Pettersson had was it him that had the huge hit, or was it Wielander? Anyways.
How's the Tom Wielander? I think I heard a lot of talk of him when he was picked up.
Well, he's a stud.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm biased. I'm a Canucks fan, but basically he's a forward who learned how to play defense.
Yes, that was what it was.
Yeah. So you got this super skilled dude, and he's good size, and he's a right-handed shot defenseman. So that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. I remember watching his highlights, and then that's
Yeah, so that's why I'm super excited to see how he does at this level, because it's the real deal, right? So, okay, let's go back to some comments real quick here. Hey, Eric, welcome to the live stream. Good to see you, buddy. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone. What? He's a Flyers fan, and you let him in your house? Well, okay, so thank you so much for bringing that up, Gary. Full disclosure, I am a huge Canucks fan, number 1 team, absolutely. But if I do have a second team, it is the Flyers. And one of the reasons why that I like the Flyers and I respect the Flyers, they would be considered my second favorite. Not that I have any other teams that I really cheer for, but if I do, it's because of this guy, number 88 right here, Eric Lindros. We fell in love with Eric Lindros at the World Juniors, and we have been talking about him ever since, watching his highlights, watching his career. I followed his career big time against the Flyer, as a Flyer. So we'll talk about like the Canucks Flyers game coming up real quick here. And I got a couple stories to tell you that I've been to some of those games near the New Year's. But I'm also a big, you can't see it here, a big Lindros. Like, this is a Team Canada Lindros jersey. So we love Eric Lindros, and that's probably why that's why you bought that.
I was thinking about getting an Oshawa Generals jersey.
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah. Put in the comments if you think you should buy an Oshawa Generals Eric Lindros jersey. I've got his rookie card. I mean, it's really easy to find and get. It's super cheap because anyways, doesn't matter. But the point is, Eric Lindros has been the guy that we have followed. So who would be your favorite player of all time in the NHL that you've watched?
Yeah, it's Lindros. Yeah.
Okay, so mine is Pavel Bure.
Yeah.
But then my second favorite person of all time is Eric Lindros, and it's not close. And then there's so many players I really like Luc Robitaille back in the day too. But, I wonder that maybe someone's leapfrog Lucky Luke by now. But anyways, Lindros is high on our list. So that's why he's wearing one. So Gary, thanks so much for pointing out that he's wearing a Flyers jersey. It was intentional. Okay?
And as an old school reference, which one of my favorite players as a kid growing up, when he played for the Pittsburgh Penguins, was Rick Tocchet. I liked his scrapping, and I liked how he put up points.
But he also played for the Flyers.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, that's where I like Rick Tocchet the most, is when he played for the Flyers.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, okay. So Eric says Finland lost to what? Germany? Oh, right. They just lost to Germany today. Yeah. And now they're 1-25 all time against the Finland. Wow. Yeah. That was huge. Hey, Carol, so glad to have you in the stream. Welcome. Appreciate you. So glad. I hope you're having a great Christmas. Jacob, welcome as well. Good to see you. Kay Patrick, happy holidays. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you. Looking forward to the game tomorrow night. I'll be wearing my new, what? You got a new black skate jersey? Did you get it for Christmas? Yes, best gift of the year. Okay. Sweet, man. Now, is it a black skate jersey night? Do you know that? It must be, hey? They have 15 black skate jersey nights at home this year.
Yeah, good.
So I wouldn't be surprised. So, okay, Eric, yeah. Thanks, buddy. Didn't know Trev was streaming. Hey, man, you got to stay always connected. By the way, let me just click on this right here before I forget. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe, please do. Also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, X. By the way, X right now just allowed me to live stream. So apparently right now I'm live streaming on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And I'm live streaming on Facebook. So make sure you follow all those things. I'd really appreciate that. Okay, back to the comments. So yeah, you were streaming. You found out. I leave BC tomorrow, unfortunately. Jacob, tell me, have you had a good time? That's why okay. When you ever see this, Ben, it means that they are members. Carol is a member, and she's hit that little emoji, and she hit the Zadorov one, and it's the Drago one I made. Oh, yeah. The reason why I thought it, Donnie Diamonds, Ben, comes into the stream and says Drago, and I was like, that's exactly what he looks like, and so that's why I made that. Hey, Shane, hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great Christmas in Nanaimo like we did. Lindros was an enigma, Eric says. If you saw him as a teenager, then you know. 220 pounds. Yeah. 6'2" as an 18-year-old. There's been no one like him, really. You know who he reminds me of? And I know I'm probably over-exaggerating this, but he reminds me of Shaquille O'Neal when he came to the NBA. Just dominant, huge guy. No one could stop. I feel like that was Eric Lindros, even though he didn't win a cup. He did win MVP, though, and he won a scoring title. So, I don't know. Do you think that's a good comparison, or is that over-exaggeration?
Yeah, no, yeah, as far as physicality and skill set goes, yeah.
Yeah. So, Jacob, my Christmas was incredible. Had family here. Had great food. Just fun time together. Went to our church for our Christmas Eve service. Watched movies. Did I say we ate a bunch of great food? Of course, some gifts, all that kind of stuff as well. So, Ruben, good to see you, buddy. This is my friend Ruben, who will be the first Canucks prospect playing in this World Junior tournament to play for the Canucks in a regular season game. Well, I think it's going to be Lettermacki will be the first guy, in my opinion, but it depends if we get injuries on the blue line, whether Pettersson comes up. Wielander won't be here for I think he won't play. He might play for us next year, but I don't know. We'll see. So I got a black skate jersey in the mail too. Awesome, man. Awesome. How are you doing on your subscribers? Thanks, Carol, so much for asking. My goal was 1,000 for Christmas. I did not reach my goal. I got to 819. But I want to thank everyone for coming and subscribing, being a part of this. And thank you for being a member, Carol. I appreciate it as well. But I'm getting close, so I have to revamp my goals is basically what I need to do. Okay. So, Matt, I leave here tomorrow. Yeah, Jacob, it's been great. Someone adopt me. Ben, do you want to adopt him? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how old he is. I mean, he's probably like 25. No, I think he's like, I don't know. Is he 18 or something? I don't know. Anyways, maybe he's younger than that. I went to Bouchard before Christmas and also to Yellow Point Christmas Spectacular at Nanaimo Port Theater. Love the show. Okay, yeah, cool. I didn't do that. My wife and daughter went to the Bouchard Gardens. Said it was awesome. It was actually awesome. What? Eric was only 220 pounds at 6'2". I'm 5'8" and 240. Solid fat. All right, Gary, good comparison. That he was 220 of muscle. So thanks for that. Yeah, see, he's only 25. You could adopt him. No, wait a minute. You don't live in BC, so never mind. He doesn't want to live with you anyways, he said. Okay. I also live. Oh, I thought you lived in Nanaimo. Okay, that's fine. Well, whatever. Okay, so he's laughing at our jokes too. Okay, so let's dive in, Ben, to this. So we're going to talk about the last game of 2023. We're going to talk about Flyers at Canucks. Before we do that, let me just tell you a couple stories. Have you ever been to a Flyers game?
Yeah. In
Edmonton or in BC?
In Edmonton.
And how long ago? Like a while ago? Like who was their star?
Claude Giroux.
Claude Giroux, superstar, right? Stud. Okay, so my wife and I used to go at New Year's Eve or New Year's Eve. Yeah, New Year's. I always get Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve mixed up. And so I went there and we went and saw Eric Lindros the very first time. They beat us, that Legion of Doom beat us. Or is it Boom? No, that's the Legion of Boom is Seattle Seahawks. Legion of Doom stole it from the wrestling, right? They beat us 8-0. Lundros and Leclerc and Renberg were awesome. And as a Canucks fan, because I didn't know at that time, like, am I a Canucks fan still or am I a Flyers fan? I was disappointed that we got smoked. You know what I mean? And then the next year or the year after, I can't remember, they came back together. I think it was the next year after we played them again. Maybe it was a few years later. And Simone Gagne scores with 2 seconds left to win 2-1. And I remember my heart kind of sunk because I was like, oh, I really wanted Vancouver to win that game. So those are my two experiences of going. It's kind of a tradition here that like on 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, that Flyers always come into town or often come into town. So those are fun games to go to, right? Like too bad we weren't going tonight.
Well, I wonder though, what about like was Brendamore and those guys on the team at that time, or like Mark Recchi or anything like that?
Well, I mean, Recchi must have been, right? Unless he was still on the Pittsburgh at those. I mean, we can look it up. I mean, that's what we can do.
Yeah. So. Well, the other thing too is when you consider the team that made it to the finals. Like I think I saw an interview with Brendamore talking about how he thinks that they're on a podcast. He's like, yeah, we lost in the Stanley Cup Finals. It was kind of brutal, but he's like, they broke the team up. We should have never. He's like, yes. I believe we would have won if we would have came back, but that's
But everyone says that though too, right? Yeah. Like Gretzky's like, you should have never traded me.
Well,
how many cups? Well, it's true. Edmonton would have won way more cups with them. Dumbest trade ever. Okay, so we'll talk about this thing. Okay, so let's just dive into. Let's go. I just need to add this to stage here. Let's dive into the Canucks Flyers game here, and I'll close this off so we can see it. So it's going to talk about the last 10 games, okay? I believe last 10 games. So we're both 7 wins, 1 loss, and 2 overtime losses. We're on a 1-game winning streak. So they've been the surprise team, hey?
Yeah, 100%.
Like what is their record? 18, 11, and 4, and we're 23, 9, and 3. So this is actually a good game. And we played them. So if you see this here, we played them. It was 2-0, right? It was game 3. We just smoked the Oilers 8-1 and then beat them 4-3 in their barn, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, we played at home, smoked them 8-1 or something like that. I don't even remember. Doesn't matter. We smoked Edmonton twice, and we're like flying high. Game 3, we play Philadelphia, and they owned us from the beginning to the end. And the best way I can describe that game, I don't know if you watched that game or not, but I just was frustrated watching that game the whole time. And there's a part of me that just is really nervous about this game. Like, they're on a roll, And are they gonna do they have something on us that we don't have? Like, what do you think about when you're thinking about walking to this game tomorrow night? What do you think is going to happen?
I think it's the coaches. If it's Tocchet versus Philly's coach,
Tortorella.
Yeah, Tortorella, and I think that's what's made the Flyers. And I've never thought that Tortorella would turn this team around, but yeah, that's why they're expected. And once they started winning at the beginning of the season, it stuck, and they continue to have a success so far. And I think, well, you look at their players. Who are you thinking? I don't know. Aside from Carter Hart, kind of being a good goals against average and save percentage, I don't really see any other. No player on their team is above a point a game, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. Like Couturier is a stud, but he hasn't been great. Like he hasn't been dominant.
And then, but you're winning. I think that's just the system.
The team,
the system they're playing in. I wonder what the hits were like.
I know, but look at this: 42 shots on goal compared to 26. That's insane. I mean, Tocchet's not going to be. He wasn't happy, and in fact, he did a soundbite like, "Who do we think we are?" Walking in, right? It was that awesome soundbite. Okay, 18-13, so we out hit them. They outshot us, or outblocked shots. The giveaways, they gave away 11 to our 7, but they took away those. So how does that work? Anyways, yeah. So that's kind of the game from last time, right? And so I'm just concerned. This cannot happen again. The 26-42 cannot happen again, right? You're right, though. They have no guys. It's their system. You're right. So, I mean, goaltending, Hart is 9-6-2. I mean, that's good, but it's not. I mean, the Oilers would love to have Carter Hart. They should trade for him, but Thatcher Demko's a stud. I don't know. They look pretty close, and I mean Thatcher looks better, right? But
yeah, and then Carter's 25 years old.
Yeah. So if we look just quickly here, I know there's lots of people wanting. I'm going to get your comments, so please continue to comment for sure. But Konechny, 27 points. Tippett 21, Couturier 23. I mean, yeah, this team is like ground and pound you, get the right system. Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of like a Seattle Kraken situation.
Yeah, no, that's a really good comparison, the Kraken, right? And they had 100 points last year. So, you know, they're not garbage, but you know, just a heads up on that. So yeah, just some thoughts. I still think the Canucks are going to win tomorrow night. I think they're going to come out flying. It's at home, and they're going to be wanting to win that one. I think it's at home, is it not? Yeah, and the last one was in Philly, so they want to finish the year off strong. And they've had, honestly, in all honesty, Canucks have had a dynamite December. They have shocked the world. And I'm loving every moment of it. Okay, let's dive into some comments because I'm sure some people have some good stuff. Oh, snap. Okay, so let's see here. We got a bunch here. Okay, Parksville. This is an exciting game. Flyers and Canucks they are the biggest surprises and hardest workers for sure, Eric. We agree 100%. New York Rangers won tonight, but Canucks are going to win tomorrow versus Flyers. So did the Rangers go ahead of us or something? And standings a must, because why would you talk about the Rangers if they didn't? I have had a sugar comatose, so I'm not really sure what's going on. Sorry, I thought that was funnier than my brother, obviously. I was giving your bro a hard time. Yes, you should, Gary. You should, absolutely. And he can handle it. So New York is back in first place. Okay, well, he's playing. I should just read a little farther down. Canucks have the same points as what? The Canucks have the same points as Flyers. How is that even possible? That's not true. Okay, maybe I'm reading that wrong. Question for you, Ro. Who is your second and maybe third favorite team?
So Canucks my first favorite team. Growing up during the old Pavel Bure era, but I never started liking the Oilers like I did until Doug Weight started losing in the first round against whether they're in the playoffs against Colorado or the Dallas Stars. And I felt that they could have took those series, but they always had a horrible matchup. Ryan Smith, Doug Weight, and they would lose. And that's as far as they got. That's the best their team would kind of do. But I like their grit of that team. And then I was always kind of an Oilers fan from that point. When I say there was always my second favorite team, no, I moved there. McDavid's playing.
Yeah,
It's like watching Michael Jordan, Draisaitl. I've watched so many Oilers games now, about 5 a season for the past 7 years. So Oilers easy number 2 team for me, and then I'm a Zach Kassian fan. And then when you went from the Canucks to the Oilers, I was loving that. And third team, that changes. I would say at some point it was the Jets, but right now I would say probably the Senators, the Brady Tkachuk. I just like his style of play. They're stacked, but they're not playing well. But I'll probably tune into a Senators game more so, and I'll pick more Canadian teams over American teams. I had a thing for Ovechkin for a while. So
he's awesome.
I like watching the Canucks.
Love him. He's got to be in my top 5 favorite players of all time. Yeah, okay, but that's weird though. Like, I'm sorry, not weird, different. I'm surprised, and I don't know. We've been brothers our whole lives, okay? But I didn't know this Doug Waite thing and Ryan Smith. Like that is why wasn't it with the Gretzky Messier coffee? Like, were you not born yet?
No, but it was like me going through the era of the San Francisco 49ers days with Joe Montana. Does that mean I liked them when they dominated like that? Not necessarily. The thing with the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan, I had certain players I liked more, but I sure liked watching the Bulls and Michael Jordan, and how could you not like them? But for me, during that whole Oilers era, I was a goalie guy, so I was really infatuated with Grant Fuhr. And
I know, but that's those days.
I know, but Patrick Waugh and all those guys,
Oh, yeah.
I was like all over the map. I don't know. Since I can remember, I was always a Canucks fan. I remember being at church, getting on the phone there and calling, but what happened at the game? And we're missing playoffs, right?
No text messages.
Yeah, and getting on the dial phone and be like, who won? Who won? The Canucks won. So I think I've always been a Canucks fan, but for me, it's because I was always a Canucks fan, and I never had a true number 2 team until I was watching Doug Waite's era.
Wow. Yeah, I find that Canucks fans, they hate a whole, but I mean, they hate everyone in the league, honestly. But like, it's usually the Flames and the Boston Bruins and that kind of stuff. And the Oilers, it's more like we have respect for them. You know what I mean? It's like they've been good for a long time and they've won a whole bunch of cups. So you can't talk trash to them because we've never won, right? And so I just find like they're stacked. Anyways, okay, I found that interesting. I learned something new about my brother tonight. Okay, so New York Rangers won tonight, but Canucks have the same points as New York. Okay, not the Flyers, but Canucks will win tomorrow. Okay, I understand. Okay, Canucks are back in the second in the league. Okay, Carol, thanks so much for gifting a membership. I don't know who it went to, but I really appreciate your support, not only the channel, but also blessing someone during this Christmas season. That's awesome. Canucks, I agree, Shane, are the best, and it's shocking to say they are, but Canucks will win. It's a comeback from losing earlier. Oh, and I think my daughter is calling me right now. Yeah, it is. Give me 2 seconds, okay? So, Ben, talk to them about something.
Getting back to who I would like. I'm more of a Canadian guy, but I always tend to like other teams as well. I won't just strictly like one team, but I'm not saying strictly like one team, but I tend to, after the one team, I'll have many other teams that will interchange, I'd say. But
okay. So I didn't hear anything you said. What do you think of the next game coming up between Canucks Flyers? What are your my prediction is I'm going to do a Canucks Clay prediction. I'm going to say I'm going to do 4-1 Vancouver. I don't think they can score more than 2 goals on us, so I'll say that we're going to have a better system. What do you think the score will be tomorrow night? I'm doing 4-1 Vancouver.
Yeah,
are you doing 10-0 Flyers?
No, I think the Canucks will, just how it shows they've gone through their ups and downs, and I think they have a better record. They've done a lot of back-to-back games. I think the Canucks will win. Predicting the score of a game is like predicting the outcome of a fight impossible.
Listen,
I will
be a man.
I know, but I'll say 4-2.
Okay, he's going the Canuck Clay 1. Okay, sounds good. Okay, it will be a crazy game tomorrow night between Canucks Flyers. They have the same record in the last 10 games. Okay, that's what he was saying. Okay. All right. Shane, Canucks will be out. Yeah, they want revenge. Absolutely, man. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm picking them. Vegas lost again, but the Kings won. I know, this is insane. And not only that, Vegas and the Kings end up playing each other Saturday as well. LA plays tonight, tomorrow night, and then they play Vegas on Saturday. So that's going to be interesting. But the problem is that
Vegas lose to before. They said
Vegas lost tonight.
No, but you said they lost again. Who did they lose to before?
Well, they keep losing. That's the point.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Like, they are on a losing streak, basically. And it's because Aiden Hill's out.
Okay.
And Logan Thompson has been out as well. They had both their starting goaltender or top two goaltenders out, but they had to call the other guy up or whatever. And but Logan came back tonight and they lost. So I was kind of shocked.
And then the Flames were going on a bit of a streak where they're starting to win again, and then they had lost to the Kings.
Perfect.
So
Oh, I want them. Well, I guess
that's the thing. The Kings and the Vegas is, without the Canucks, are basically a measuring stick.
Yeah. Okay. So, K. Patrick, I predict a Vancouver's 4-3 win in an overtime shootout. That'd be awesome. It would be a fun game to watch. Which one of you is older, not balder? Okay. Well, I am balding, but I am the oldest, and my brother he is the youngest. There's 3 boys in the family, and our middle brother was here yesterday, but is not here tonight. So
2 balding.
I'm the only one with hair, and listen, it's going okay. So,
but our middle brother went the fastest.
Jay, you are a Larry Bird guy. Okay, so I was not a huge fan of Larry Bird. But now that we're looking hindsight 2020, I have way more respect for Larry Bird. And the fact is, Larry Bird, his trash talking was epic. I had no idea. All the stories that come out now. What's your favorite Larry Bird story? Can I start while you think about it? My favorite Larry Bird story of all time is he was getting bored because he was scoring 40 a night all the time. So he told the team he's going to shoot with his left hand only. And he's right-handed, and he scored 40 with his left hand. He never shot a ball the entire night without his shooting with his strong hand, and scored 40. So what would be your favorite Larry Bird moment?
Oh, yeah, I do like listening to all the trash talk stories of his. But the first one I heard was just he hadn't played, retired for a while, and one of the NBA players said that he came in and just picked up the ball and shot it 10 times, all perfect swishes. And they were just unreal.
Yeah.
But we witnessed him during the 3-point shootouts,
like the one where he said it at the All-Star game?
Yeah.
The 3-point competition. He walks in and he goes, "So who's coming second?"
But you're talking to more Michael Jordan guys.
Yeah, we're Michael Jordan fans. And Larry Bird was at his tail end when we started really watching. Yeah, that's more. We watched Magic more than we did Bird, right?
Yeah, and then Bird's back was starting to act up a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Calgary and Montreal. Okay, you don't like those 2 teams. I understand. Okay. Last time Canadian teams won the cup, those guys were in it. Just saying. Hopefully, don't get bullied by the Flyers, right? Hey, Angelo, I do like your 6-3 one. I appreciate that. LA and Vegas play tomorrow. Oh, okay. I thought it was Saturday. So thanks, Jack, for clarifying that, and I appreciate that. Predictions for the next 10 games. Well, I'm going to be doing a January prediction video. I did the October. No, is it October? November one. Yeah, October, November, December prediction videos. So that will be coming out real soon. And so I haven't looked at it, to be honest with you, so I can't predict what we're going to do for the next 10 games. Do you know what's coming up next 10? Are you?
Yeah, so it's Senators, Blues, Devils, Rangers, Islanders, Penguins, Sabres, Blue Jackets.
Okay. So, Sabres, yeah. So we play some good teams. So it will be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if we win, and some people might say I'm not sure what we're going to win, and then others we might lose there. So I mean, we should beat the Coyotes, Blue Jackets, Senators, we should be able to win. Blues, we should be able to beat them. So there's probably 5 games that are like, I think we're just going to win those. And then if we go 50-50 against Devils, Rangers, and Sabres, let's just say that. I mean, we're going to beat the Penguins. So I'll say 6-4, just not 7-3. Let's just be optimistic here. So that's just my guess. I don't know. Okay, so Gary, this is just a cool video with you and your bro. Does he know you secretly cheer for the Flames? Hey, Gary loves to bug me because he's always like, you should tell people how much you really think about the Flames. And I'm like, I can't stand the Flames. And he loves it that I get.
Well, speaking of the Flames, though, you didn't like the Flames when Jarome McGinley?
That's the only guy. Yeah. Like, I respected guys off the Flames, but I've never liked their team. I've always wanted them to lose. Yeah. But if you were going to say, what's one guy on that team that you wish played for the Canucks, it would be Jarome McGinley. Like I didn't mind Thurman Fleury. I did respect Mike Vernon, but I wasn't a fan of like Joe Nieuwendyk, Lanny McDonald, like whatever, just had a mustache. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he was good. Don't get me wrong. At that point. Yeah. I liked Doug Gilmour when he played for Calgary, but I liked Doug Gilmour better when he played for Toronto. So, anyways, that's just I mean, okay. But in all honesty, probably Jarome McGinley. But I think Al McInnis is my favorite Flame of all time. I loved watching that guy, but I can't stand watching that team. So I'm glad that the Oilers would beat him in those days. They would have won like 4 cups if it wasn't for the Oilers. They were stacked. So yeah. Anyways, that's my opinion. We got a 7-game road trip after the Ottawa game. Yeah, that's hard, Jack, for sure.
Well, sometimes they say, though, that people play better on the road. You never know.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So, Ryan, I hate the Flames so bad. Yeah, dude, I'm the same way. I do not. I want to beat them in the preseason, regular season, postseason. I don't care. If it's an exhibition game, if it's shinny hockey, I don't even care. I just want to beat the Flames. So, yeah. Funny story, I saw Ginland 3 years ago in Kelowna each summer. He lives there. Dude, he lives there, so that's why you see him there. And his son is now playing for the Kelowna Rockets, so he's doing really well, and he's going to get drafted this year as well.
And again, isn't he signed on to actually now be a part of the Flames? So he'll be making his way back.
Yeah. So those are some of the interesting things. Okay, my thing is saying can't post comments to some destinations. Learn more. What the heck is going on here? Okay. So it's saying, all right, whatever. Strange. See if you guys can post a comment. See if you can post a comment here. Oh, yeah, I just saw another one come in, so I don't know what it's saying. Maybe it's just Facebook tonight. It's not working there. Every time I hear the name Mika Kiprusoff is a player I hate on the Flames. Yeah, he had ice in his veins. He was fantastic. I mean, have respect for him, but liked it when they lost. And I loved it when the Tampa Bay Lightning beat them in the finals, but you probably wouldn't have been like that.
No, I'm going to root for a Canadian team when they're in the finals, 100%.
You're allowed to do that. Most of Canada does that. Yeah. I just think it's weird.
But obviously, I don't want to see the Leafs, the Habs, all those teams win when I'd rather see a Western team.
Okay, but so if the Leafs make it to the finals,
I'll be rooting
against like the Colorado. You're going to root for Toronto?
Yeah, 100%. And you don't like watching Toronto? That's a
Well, I don't mind Toronto. Most Canuck fans hate Toronto.
Yeah, no, 100%. Most BC people hate, just have a thing for Toronto. But having said that, though, I was always a very negative person against Toronto until Ty Domi came around. And then I started,
we love fights. Oh, yeah. we follow hockeyfights.com.
Well, the very first game I remember going to was with my brother and my dad, and we went to a Cornell King. No, it was a Millionaires game. And there was I remember in that game, there was a line brawl, and the captain, I can't remember his name, something Taylor, and he goes toe-to-toe with the guy, 2 captains right center ice. The goalies went at it. That was my first hockey game.
I wasn't there. Was I there?
Yeah, Dad took me. He took all of us.
All 3 of us?
Mom didn't go. It was just all the boys. Yeah.
Listen, Cornell Millionaires, when we played and we went to those games, there was fights every night.
Well, and then in those games, when you would get a little bit older, this fights would be scheduled for after to go down to the Laborde Park and watch the fights on the stage, the street fights. And so those,
I didn't know that.
So that was some, you were in for some fights. And then you'd see the tough guys going at it.
Oh, that is hilarious.
So.
And terrible at the same time. Where is Sammy Salo's son's playing this year? He was on the island for Couch and Capital. He was? I didn't know that. I've watched a ton of Couch and Capitals games because being in Nanaimo, of course. So I watched those games last year. I didn't notice he was there. I saw Gary Volk's son played for the Langley Rivermen last year, and Gary Volk was in the Clipper Stadium. So that was cool. I don't know either, Shane. So I'm not sure. So, I loved it when the Flames lost that year. Yes, I did too. I was so happy about that. So I don't want the Canucks to play Boston or Vegas first round. They'll never play Boston because they're in the other conference. They're on the complete opposite side. So the only way we would play Boston is in the playoffs is if we go to the finals. So Vegas is a possibility that we could play them in the first round, depending. Maybe LA comes first and then we play Vegas next. But I mean, we got lots of hockey to play before we get there. But that is the only possibility out of those two teams that we could play them. But you have to beat the best to be the best. So just remind you that I don't think we should fear anyone with this team because we're pretty good. Okay, so I think we can take the Bruins. Knights is a different story. They're scared of him. Yeah, no. I mean, if they don't have their goaltending, we'll beat them, no problem. But talking Bruins in the final, yeah. No, I love the optimism there, Ryan. So I appreciate that. Yeah, so I don't know if there's what else we want to talk about tonight, Ben. So anything else? I don't have anything else on our calendar here, but I mean, we got this was a last minute stream. We were excited to have everyone here. What was I supposed to leave?
Well, lately what it does, Zadorov was just on a podcast.
Oh yeah.
So what was he saying? He was saying his favorite defenseman he played with was Tyson Barrie.
Oh, okay.
He said Daryl Sutter, he wished he would have played for him when he was a rookie. The guy that was interviewing was John Scott, former Goon Forcer, played with him in Buffalo. So then, they were matched up as defensemen, I guess, or something like that. But so he had familiarity with him. He liked his time in Buffalo. He bounced around a lot of different teams. He was making fun of him, saying he actually gave him some serious questions in a friendly way. And he said, "What's wrong with you? You're not liked in the locker room." And Zadorov was like, "No, I think I'm liked." So it was interesting listening to that interview because that's with the Flames. When he was leaving, they were like, well,
they were mad because he said he wanted to go, right?
Yeah. And so I think he just got misinterpreted
Well, he wants to win.
Yeah. Well, what his version of events was that he wanted to re-sign with him. And he said that when he originally was going to sign with him before, and he did sign with him for whatever it was, he said he was waiting for Johnny Gaudreau to sign. And he said then Johnny Gaudreau didn't sign. And he said all the teams that offered Zadorov spot then were no longer available. So he said, fine, I'll make Flames my home. Then he tried to re-sign with the Flames in the offseason. They didn't do it. So then I guess as they're basically tanking, he then said,
unintentional.
I want to get me out of here, probably get me to a team. If you guys don't want to re-sign me, then send me on my way. And then from then on, the public media was like, oh, he's not liked in the locker room. I'm like, well, is it that? I think it's just he was saying, okay, you guys don't want me here in management, then move me. I don't think that has anything to do with locker room.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's because my next video, not live stream, I'm going to be talking about all the contracts and what I think. I'm going to make predictions on them, right? But do you think the Canucks at this stage should sign, they should sign Zadorov?
Yeah, I think Zadorov, I'm pumped because he was my favorite Flames player at the time when they just took him.
Fan favorite.
Yeah, so I hope they do. I hope they don't pay him too much money. When John Scott asked him saying, oh, you're going to get paid now? And Zadorov laughed and said, yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know the exact words, but you're like, oh my God, he's going to ask for too much money. But he did give the impression that he liked it there. But I don't know. Maybe like who do we got to sign? Hronek, Pedersen, Zadorov,
and is it
Dakota Joshua?
I think. I'll bring that up while you're talking.
But yeah, I'm not worried about signing Dakota Joshua and those guys. I think that we'll get a deal. They're not going to be expensive guys, but I think Zadorov could definitely. I think Hronek can ask for a lot of money, and obviously we're going to pay Pedersen. I don't think we're going to let him go. So then, how much? Then now the problem is we already got Carson Soucy. Do we have the ability now to afford another guy?
I mean, that's what I'm going to be talking about, but I think that's the real question. So let's just go here real quick. So everyone, hopefully you guys can see us. If you can't see us, like full screen on your screen here. But so Teddy Bluger is only making $1.9 million. Then you have Sam Lafferty only making 1.1. And then the next UFA is Dakota Joshua, who's on it's not the entry level contract. So he's going to get a raise.
Yeah, and he's only making $825,000.
I mean, I wish we could make that, but
so I bet you they're going to let Tyler Myers go. Yeah, I hope it all works out.
Yeah, like all our defensemen are UFAs except for Juleson. So basically, we have Hughes and Juleson that are available, and we've got on the RFA. Oh, wait a minute, Phil Peronek's an RFA. That's better.
Sweet, yeah.
Okay, so then we're going to do something creative here. He's making 3.75. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure yet if we're gonna re-sign Zadorov. I want us to, but I also don't really want to make that statement yet.
I think
until I see him more.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's a tryout right now. And when he came over, it was the same talk when Tyler Myers came over. You heard the Winnipeg Jets fans go, "Good luck with that guy. He's a penalty fest," and blah 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 blah. So I looked it up. I don't know if it was last game, but Zadorov hasn't taken a penalty except for
one tripping.
Well, no, maybe because I looked at the stat and then he all of a sudden got it. But when I looked at the stats, the only penalty Zadorov had was fighting.
Yeah, and that's
and it was a dual fight. The other guy got a penalty. But when I watched the first game of Zadorov play, I was like, well, he kind of doesn't look like he did on the Flames. And I was like, I think what's going on is he's playing conservatively. He doesn't want to screw up. I'm not expecting an offensive Zadorov. I want to see a defensive hitting machine.
That's what
and he's stuck up for Pedersen. Pedersen quite liked that.
Right.
So I think over time we're going to see it.
Yeah, I mean, you and I are huge Zadorov, hoping that he becomes a Canuck for a while, but we'll see. We'll see. Because if he doesn't end up being the hitting guy and he takes penalties, we don't want to sign him back.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay. Carol says, what did you both get for Christmas? I saw your wife and you posted. Is it supposed to look awesome? I don't know what she's saying there. Carol,
what did you get for Christmas?
Well, what did I get for Christmas? Yeah. The picture of my wife and I. Did you think that the Canucks jersey was my Christmas?
Green Bay Packers
one. No, they didn't see that one.
Oh,
okay. So what I got for Christmas was, did I get any Canucks stuff for Christmas? I don't think I did. My Canucks, that was my Christmas present, going to the Tampa Bay game, getting the black skate jersey. But that was December 12th. That was my early Christmas present. Then I got a Packers jersey and toque. And I'm trying to think what else I got. I think I got some other stuff too. I can't remember. Oh, my daughter bought me a Yeti cup mug thing. I got lots of Air Jordan stuff, shirts, hoodies, all that kind of stuff. So I was really pumped about that. I got the white Air Jordans. Yeah. So those things. So what did you get?
Connor Bedard shirt.
Oh yeah, I bought him that, by the way. I'm a huge Connor Bedard
I got
fan.
a guitar which I couldn't bring on the road trip, so I'm learning.
You got it?
Yeah.
For Christmas?
Yeah, she bought it for me.
Oh.
And so I'm learning from scratch. I did not realize how hard it is. It's extremely hard. So I'm trying to do that. I got a white old man sweater I like. I got a Duke Blue Devils hoodie.
Yeah, that one's really nice. Even though I'm not a huge Duke Blue Devils fan, I love all their stuff. They are awesome. Yeah, you got some good stuff. My favorite gift that you got was the Bedard shirt, just saying. Still hasn't worn it. He's been here for days, people. I think he doesn't like it. Ruben, which former Stanley Cup final foe would the Canucks rather face in the finals this year, Bruins or Rangers? I know, I'm getting ahead of myself.
I'm Rangers in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think you're right on that.
I hate Boston, so it'd be better to beat Boston.
Oh.
But I like the Rangers. I like Lafreniere. I like Trouba. Patrick Trouba.
Panarin?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm just the guys I actually have.
Shesterkin? I love that guy.
Well, they're both stacked, but I would love to beat Boston more so if we were going to win. But
no, we're going to win. If we make the finals, we're winning.
Yeah, easier said than done here.
No, but I'm serious. Like in all honesty, most people didn't.
Yeah, if we make the finals, we definitely have a good shot. I'll be happy if we make it to the second round and keep going. But
yeah. My goal is that we make the playoffs, which I think we are going to do. But yeah, so I am. Which one would I rather have? I don't care. I just want to beat both of those teams, but I probably hate Boston more. So maybe my answer would be Boston.
And the reason I talk like that is because I have so much shell shock from the Canucks losing continuously. So I'm quite happy, but I try not to get too high on myself.
On yourself, you're talking about the Canucks.
Yeah, being a Canucks guy, right? So well,
you can pump the brakes. I'm not pumping the brakes. I'm saying I'm not saying we're winning the cup.
The brakes, yeah.
I'm not saying we're going to win the cup. What I'm saying is, if we go to the cup, we're going to win it. Okay. So, Gary's agreeing with you. When it comes to the playoffs, I root for Canadian teams. Well, that's fine, Gary. You're welcome to do that. Most Canadians do. You're not abnormal. I'm the abnormal one. I do not do that. I mean, I do. I would cheer for Edmonton if they made it in the playoffs. I'll cheer for Edmonton.
Imagine McDavid.
That'd be awesome. But they're not this year. Like I don't even know if they're going to make it. But if Toronto goes in, I would mind seeing Toronto. Yeah. I wouldn't care. If you said, "Oh, Ottawa's going to be in the playoffs," I'm like, okay, I could care less if they win or not. But that's just me. And then the Flames that just want them to get swept. That's the only thing, right? So, anyway, that's just me. But he agrees with you. So, can't teams offer Pettersson a contract? Famous rumor. Oh, yeah. Is it the famous one? I mean, if they did, let's just say they do that. What's that called when they do that? Anyways, whenever they offer the contract, because they did that to Kessler. Philly did that to us. Remember?
What is it, RFA?
Yeah. So they
just
can
do this.
All Vancouver has to do is match, and then we get him for whatever he signed for.
Oh, but isn't it a bunch of draft picks?
Yes.
Yeah. So that Habs player got picked up like that.
Yeah. So this is what would happen. So let's just say, Angelo, that the Vegas Golden Knights go and do that, and say they offer him $13 million for 8 years. Okay, he signs that contract, and if Vancouver does not want that contract and says we'll let him walk for that. Excuse me. We get like 3 or 4 first-round picks from Vegas.
There's layers to that. I think it's based on how much money's being offered.
Right. Yeah. So, but if it's like he signs for this is not going to happen. But say 10.5 times 4, Vancouver just says okay, and then they just say we'll sign him for that, and then we have him locked in for the next 4 years. Yeah. So it actually works out in our. Well, I don't know if it works out in our best interest, because if Vegas gets Pettersson for the next 8 years and then they give us
it does. 4, it's not great, but in the NHL situation, they have a stranglehold for sure. RFA situation, other leagues don't have that. I don't think in the NBA they have a situation like that.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing you both do a live stream together again. Your chemistry is awesome. Well, it's because we're brothers. But thank you for noticing. This is what we're like all the time, though, right? Like, we're not putting on. Yeah. I mean, I might be a little bit more animated, but I'm
no planning going on.
Yeah. Well, tonight my wife's like, "So what are you guys going to talk about?" Well, I'm like, "We're just going to talk." I mean, we'll talk about this, this, and this, and then we're going to wing it. And look how good it's going. So. And my wife, I could see in her eyes, she's like, "This is not going to go well." And I'm like, "Oh, you're wrong." So, okay, Carol. Oh, you and your wife looked awesome. Yes, thank you. That was our Christmas Eve service, and I wore my Canucks jersey to the Christmas Eve service. Got tons of compliments, And Ben was there, of course. He didn't wear this there, which is a good, smart move. But yeah, so that was where that picture was from. So thank you. Yeah, she looked dynamite in that red dress. Wow. Okay, so anyways, we had a great Christmas Eve service. All right, so we're at an hour, Ben. We've been doing this for an hour. I thought we were going to do this for maybe half an hour, 40 minutes for sure. But here we are. So I want to thank everyone for being here. Whoever's still here, 16 people still here. Thank you for showing up. 10 o'clock at night, Pacific time. And thanks for being on.
Yeah, no, pleasure mine.
Pleasure's mine. Yeah. And yeah, it's been good having you here for Christmas as well. And we'll have to do this again sometime. But who knows? We'll figure it out.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for showing up. Hit that like and subscribe. Oh, and if you want to become a member, please do. That'd be great. $5 a month gets you all kinds of emojis, loyalty badges. Also gets a members only video and live stream that's coming up. And then also the $15 a month one, $14.99 gets you a Zoom call with me, all the other perks and other things. So let me know in the comments if there's anything that you'd like to see in the membership as well. I'd appreciate that. Yeah, good to see you guys. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. By the way, I'm live streaming tomorrow night, so make sure you show up right after the game. Oh no, wait a minute, the game's during the day, isn't it? I think it's early. Could I be wrong on this? Let's just go there real quick. Where am I? Okay, NHL.com. No, Canucks schedule. Let's do that. What do you think? Ben, do you know the answer to this question? It is at 7 p.m. So I'm wrong. Of course, because it's in Vancouver. What am I thinking? I don't know. Anyways, I got to stop because obviously I'm still wrong. So, all right, everyone. Thanks so much for coming out. Appreciate each one of you. And I'm going to cue the music.